We are down to the finalists in our last day of competition in the Super Retriever Series from Stuttgart, Arkansas. The relentless winds that whipped across the prairie made it hard on the dogs and the handlers in our first days of competition, but today it's a bit calmer, so we should be able to see some of the best teams in the business stretch out and work to their full potential. The Big Air Dogs, too, battled a headwind in qualifying, but likewise should be able to show us more. We got a full schedule, so let's get going with Championship Day. Welcome to Mack's Prairie Wings in Stuttgart, Arkansas. A big day for us here on the Super Retriever Series. I'm Tommy Sanders. We got the Big Air Dogs on the way, of course, but the main reason we are here is to find out who will be the top two finishers in the Hunt Test Trial, which happens today. We got a strong field in that. Sarah Sanford and Justin Tackett are standing by to set up the field and tell us what this test is really all about.
Tommy, we are just about to get started with the finals for the Retrievers. 6 dogs have advanced to a very different course. Tell us why it's so different, Justin.
Sarah, the judges have set up a rice field hunting scenario, okay? I want you to imagine a group of ducks coming in. We knock 5 down. The dogs are going to have to remember all 5 of those marks, but what really makes it difficult is we have a 200 and 250-yard mark out there. It's the first bird down. They'll have to pick up all 4, remember that mark, get out there and get after it.
Well, it's going to be fun, and there's a lot riding on this. Only 2 teams will advance on to the Great Outdoor Games. Now, back behind us right now is the judges and handlers meeting, and in fact, they're running a test dog so that the handlers can see what they're in for and what kind of strategy they need to have kick in.
Sarah, we've got a real technical course. Let's take a quick look at it. We start out with a delayed quad with a 258-yard blind. The first mark comes out at 235. We're going to swing to the left for a 145-yard mark, then way back to the right for the 120. Then we've got a breaking bird at 25 right in front of us.
Scott Greer. I'm from Dyersburg, Tennessee. Hunter Retriever champion, Coffee's Little Dabble Do Ya. I call her Liza. There's a lot of stiff competition. I mean, every one of these dogs are real high caliber dogs. You know, some of them are Grand Hunter Retriever champions, you know, and anytime they got those kind of credentials, there's always room to work. We trained hard for it. She's real focused at the line. She doesn't do a lot of jumping around, and she takes it all in. She don't miss much. And her desire on top of that, I think that's going to give her an edge. Mark.
Judges are being tough on Scott and Liza. A little unsteady coming to the line, 2 points off.
The judges think pretty tight, aren't they, Sarah?
They really are. These are the finals, and the top 2 dogs are going to head off to the Great Outdoor Games. There's a lot riding on this for these guys.
All right, there's his mark to the right at about 120. Now he's got his breaking bird about 25 yards. Bam, right there.
Liza.
And Liza's got some energy. She's worked hard to get here, and she's ready to show off.
She's something else.
Heel.
You're going to have a super clean run here.
Liza.
She seemed to have marked that bird well.
Nice line. Oh, she's pulled over the judges are judging it really tight. They hit her with a 5-point penalty, avoiding an obstacle right there.
She cut through a levee gate.
Heel.
Let's see what she's got here from a memory standpoint.
Liza!
Now this is a longer run here she's going to have to make. But they were up against it in the semifinals with a lot of wind. Today's a beautiful day, not the wind that they were up against before. And that is really going to work in their favor today.
The marking conditions are perfect today. She's working on that 145-yard mark right now. There it is.
She really responds well to these whistles. These two work really well as a team.
You know, she's still a fairly young dog. She's only 3 years old.
Now he's trying to bring her back over to the left. And this is where she's got to now trust him completely. As soon as the handler blows a whistle, he's in charge of where she goes. And that was a good cast. He did what he needed to do to help her do what she needed to do.
We're going to see how she can do on the long mark now. This is the first bird down. It's about 235 yards. She's got a land-water land, a berm, some swimming water, and then she's got to break 2 more rice paddies to get there.
You could see her head looking around. She knows something's ahead.
Keep digging, Liza. Come on.
She's holding that line. Even though she's looking around, she's not running off of that line. She's trusting him to tell her what to do.
He's got a score 31 going into the blind, and this is a tough blind. It's underneath the arc of the first bird down, so there's suction from the right and the left on this one. Let's see how she holds her line. Okay, she's closing the distance there. Oh my goodness, she's going to line it. Oh, that's incredible.
That is
super job.
tremendous. And that's a lot for Scott Greer to be smiling about. He and Liza have set a tough score to beat, 31 points.
More of the Retrievers in action for you coming up. Plus, we'll get the big air dogs started too when we return to Mack's Prairie Wings in Stuttgart, Arkansas on the Super Retriever Series.
I'm Chris Stoddart from Lanark, Ontario, up in Canada. This is Hot Timber Smoking Magnum. He's a 5-year-old black lab male. Smokey's an excellent marker when he's in the mood. He wants to retrieve. He comes up the line, looks positive. He pretty well remember where most birds are when he's marking. He usually can hold some pretty good lines. He's very compliant, but he's a dog, and you pretty well take what you get.
Well, let's see what Smoke is going to give Chris Stoddart today in the finals.
All right, he's signal ready. There's his long bird, about 235 yards. Got a little delay here. We're going to reload. That's going to really work on the dog's memory.
But you can see how calm Smoke is there at the line.
Here, sit, watch.
He's our lone contestant who's primarily a field trialer.
Sit. 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 Easy. Smoke.
So far, so good. Now, that short mark there really does work on the memory. He runs out, picks that up.
Easy.
And he's got these long ones to remember out here.
We're just burning time. The judges have set up a wonderful course here. We're going to find out who the best dog is, there's no doubt. That was a really nice job on the 120-yard mark. Now, he's probably, I would assume, he's going to head for the 145.
You can hear how loudly he said Smoke's name. That means that's going to drive him out there.
Okay, he's on the swimming water there. He's still on line.
He's at a nice line. Now, what happened there? He ran right past it because he was also upwind of it. He wasn't able to wind the bird at all. And on top of that, he's used to running out longer distances than these. That staccato whistle means come back, and each one of those are a 2-point penalty.
Nice job. I think he's got him under control. He's pushing him over.
Now, there are two different types of penalties these dogs can get out here. The minor penalties, which are 2 points each, and the major penalties, which are 5 points each. Now, these comeback whistles and the whistles also to make them stop and sit and look back for directions are 2 points each.
Over.
All right, I think he's back in the saddle now. Now they got to do is pick up the long mark and set up for this blind.
Now, it's a good recovery, but 20 points, that's a lot of points right now.
Way ahead. Way ahead. Good. Good.
Okay, he's going about 235. Let's see what his memory's like.
Smoke's got a great way of sort of hopping like a mule deer, huh?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. Here comes the swimming water. Oh, man. Big entry. You know, it's just got to bother their concentration. It's got to. He's picking it up again. The mark should be right in there. Get on the whistle. Chris is trying to beat the game. He's trying to duck these little tiny 2-point penalties, and it's going to end up costing him an absolute ton. He's got to stop the dog and handle him to the area of the fall.
Yeah, that cost him a 5-point penalty.
Maybe he can get some control here and get this thing done. He's still got the blind to go.
Another good recovery, but going into the blind, 30 points is not an easy place to be.
Fine.
You got to play the game by the rules, Sarah. You can't just let him get out there and wander, and that's why the judges have gotten on him a little bit.
He's taking a nice line towards that blind.
There's a little mule deer hop for you again.
I like those mule deer hops, I'll tell you. Now coming off of Scott Greer's lining the blind, let's see what Smoke can do. He's holding the line nicely.
Little angle back there to the left. Nice cast.
And Smoke clearly can see that blind.
Oh, Chris, don't stop him there. He's not afraid to use the whistle on the blind at all, is he, Sarah?
You know, and that's a shame because Smoke had nailed it. Smoke knew exactly where he was. Now 34 points isn't a bad score at all. Let's go check in with Tommy over at Big Air.
All right, have a look at our leaders in the Big Air competition. Danny Cruz, the owner and handler. The dog is Tank. This was the jump, 18 feet and 8 inches. And Tank hold on to that in the competition here in Stuttgart. We're going to see as we head into our final round here. Magic is the dog, the handler. Randy DeLay of Prairie, Arkansas. Their best jump so far, 18 feet, 1 inch. Loves to achieve, never tires of it. And a lot of energy right there. What an excellent jump, perfect effort, using every bit of that runway. Magic going out there, 18 feet and 4 inches. Not good enough to take the lead, good enough for second place at this point.
Sit.
All right, the only Chesapeake in our competition. This is Rebel.
Sit.
Chris Stoddard is the handler. This pair from Lanark, Ontario, Canada. Best jump so far, 15.02. And that is going to better it right there. An excellent jump. Let's take a look. Bit of a slip. You see it right there on the dock, but recovers nicely. A jump of 17 feet even. Hunter is the 3-year-old yellow lab from Sherwood, Arkansas. Working with Jay Robinson, the owner and handler. Hunter, another dog that loves to retrieve. Tireless. Will fetch all day. Your best jump so far, 15 feet, 1 inch. There goes Hunter. A lot of horizontal push, but not a lot of lift either. Take a look at this jump. Uses the dock really well, but just does not get up there in the air. And there you have our leaders so far with one more jump to go. Danny Cruz and Tank on top with 18.8. We'll be right back.
You know, there's a lot of things are said about chocolate dogs, and he's always seemed to be an exception to the rule. He's an excellent marking dog, loves to work, loves to train. Real test-wise, that's probably his fault more than anything. He knows this environment, knows what's going on. That's probably been his biggest downfall. It's gotten him in trouble. He gets so wound up just because he knows what's about to take place.
Sarah, as they say, every dog has his day. Today was not Kosmos.
Yeah, things really fell apart on the 145-yard mark.
Yeah, he's just like Keith said, he's just a little wound up today. He got a little loose at the line. It just compounded things, and it went downhill from there.
But you can take a look at this here. There he is right there next to the mark.
Oh, and that's just the kind of day it was, Sarah.
Yeah, final score of 98 points. It just wasn't Keith and Kosmos' day.
I'm Freddie King. This is my buddy Casey right here. His full name is King's Casey Mountain Casey. With any animal that a person or a trainer, or, you know, be it pro or just your average Joe, it's almost, well, it's not an almost, it is just like your kids. You want to see them elevate and go beyond what you think they can do. It's the pride. There's a lot of pride walking around out here, so I mean, you can bet your boots on that.
Freddie King had a lot to be proud of for the first 3 marks.
He smacked all 3 of the first marks. He gets to that long mark, and Casey, for whatever reason, decides to completely turn him off.
Going into this mark, he had no points against him. This is the 145-yard mark. He took a nice line straight out towards it.
Everything was going along just perfectly. First whistle, he stops, he gives him a cast. The dog actually turns the wrong shoulder right here, and I don't know what's going on, but I mean, he just, as you'll see, he turns him off. There's the first whistle refusal. There's your second whistle refusal, and there's the third. He picks up the blind, and he's done.
Disqualified for picking up the wrong bird. Bad day for Freddie King and Casey.
I'm Tim Baker, and I'm from Springfield, Missouri, and my dog's name's Casey. Actually, he'd fit into what they were calling their mini big air competition. They're wanting to get an exhibition on that coming up, and I was just trying to come down and give it a rip and see what he'd do, see if he'd qualify for just getting to work on a mini big air, and had no idea we'd end up in the final round against the big dogs.
Well, Casey, the springer from Springfield, Missouri, is ready to go, as is handler Tim Baker there. Their best jump so far, 11 feet 5 inches, so they're going to have a dramatic improvement if they are going to contend for the lead here. You see Tank's figure there, 18 feet 8 inches, the leading mark so far. We had some trouble with some hesitation at the end of the dock, and we're having that problem again. What a great standing jump, but standing does not account for anything. Final jump, 9 feet and 4 inches. Let's take a look. Right there, just a complete stop, so no momentum, but a lot of spring nonetheless. Coming up next, Wally from Clinton, Mississippi. The handler, Melissa Holden, their best jump so far, 16 feet 1 inch. Melissa says Wally is capable of jumping much farther. A lot of speed as well. Take a look at the vertical leap on that jump right there. Wally, a final jump of 19 feet. That is going to take the lead. Let's look at this jump. Tremendous acceleration and great conversion to lift is what takes Wally out there, 19 feet.
Good boy. All right. Let's go, buddy.
All right, Tank's got another shot at Wally. Their best jump, 18 feet 8 inches.
Good boy. Ready?
They've got to tack on another 5 inches minimum in order to take the title here.
Go, 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 go!
Oh, and a good jump there. Is that going to do it? We're going to take the official measurements. Let's take a look at the replay. There's the official 18.4, going a little bit sideways there. So Tank and Danny Cruz not able to overcome Melissa Holden and Wally, your winners in the Super Retriever Series. Hey, we got more retrievers coming up from Stuttgart.
All right. Good one.
My name's Mark Miles. I'm from Searcy, Arkansas. His registered name is Stumptown's Woodrow Surprise. He's fun to train. There's a couple of the dogs that's got a whole lot more experience at tests than Woody does. But as far as athletic ability, you know, I think he's as talented as anything out here. His desire and his athleticism, that's his biggest attributes. Woody.
Woody is only 17 months old. He is the wonder dog from the semifinals.
Here.
Came away with a great score of 31 points.
Here, easy.
And he is wound up today.
He's ready to rock. Wide open. That's how he goes. As fast as he can go, as hard as he can go, 100% of the time, even on blinds.
Good. Woody!
This dog has no titles. It's the only dog in the finals without any titles. He's on the long mark now. He's just hit the swimming water.
Mark can see he's just a little bit to the right. He's really guiding him carefully. Now that's a pop there. That'll cost him 5 points. Popping is when a dog sits down and looks back for direction.
I think what's so amazing to me about Woody is the fact that he is so young, but he handles so well. He's got a lot of confidence in Mark. Oh, he's sucking right around the blind there.
That's a tough break for Mark. Now he'd better do something quick and get this situation under control. He's angling him back in. That staccato whistle means come back in. And he sent Woody right to where he needed to go.
Sit, Mark. No, Mark. Here. heel. Mark, here.
You don't think Mark's a little nervous, do you?
Woody!
That's got to wind him up a little bit. But, you know, Mark's an easygoing guy, and I imagine that really, really helps Woody.
A little bit offline. Nice job. Very nice job. I just cannot believe this dog is so young.
Back.
17 months. It's unbelievable.
24 points going into the blind and running out with confidence towards a bird. He doesn't know where it is, and that doesn't seem to be slowing him down at all.
Hey!
Nice job.
And they have nailed the blind. We have a new leader with only 30 penalty points. Mark Miles and Woody have proven themselves again. Now we've got one more team in the finals coming up. Bill Rath and his dog Ish. Ish is 5 years old, and they actually tied Mark Miles in the semifinals.
Sir, if there is one dog out there that can break that score, it's this dog. He's an incredible marking dog.
Heel.
He's a little unsteady at the line right now, but having watched him for many years, I know he's a marking machine.
Yes.
Bill Rath has a nice way about him there at the line. He's nice and confident, nice and low-key. And that keeps a dog like Ish, who's a hard-running dog, calm there at the line.
He's picked up the 120 with no problem. This seems to be the bird that's had everybody a little spooked. Stepped right on it.
They are cooking. Only 2 penalty points against them as they head into the third mark.
Woody and Mark ought to be getting a little tight right now. He is screaming. Okay, 1 whistle there. 4 points. Nice, easy cast. Shouldn't have any problem getting him over. Took it well. He's blown right by. Oh, gosh, I think he's seen the blind.
He has seen the blind. And now it comes down to how much Bill Rath can control him at a time like this. And he can't. He's picked up the blind, and he is disqualified.
Oh, what a huge disappointment for Bill.
They were so far out in front.
Well, that is going to wrap it up here in Stuttgart. Mark Miles and Woody, superior concentration with a grinding physical performance amid the tough conditions here in Stuttgart, Arkansas. Next time, another great hunt test from the North Woods in Northfield, Minnesota when we see you again